Hey guys, so today I want to test out just how efficient Amano shrimps are against algae. So this is my 80-liter tank. It is about 1 month old, and I think you can see if I get you in closer, I do have quite a lot of thread algae, maybe a little bit of staghorn, although it looks pretty filamentous, so it's that type of hair algae, which is very common at the beginning, particularly in tanks that have CO2 injection and also high light, and I'm running fertilizers as well, and so on and so forth. So I know these algae will subside with time, but I kind of want to get rid of them now. And Amanos have a very good reputation when it comes to eating algae, especially hair algae. And I didn't know this, but the Tropica website, which is one of the leading companies, let's say, that offer plans for aquariums, they recommend you to have 1 Amano shrimp per 5 liters of water. I did not know about such a ratio. I have 4 Amano shrimps here, which, they're doing the job, but I want to see what happens if I add more Amano shrimps here. Will I actually see visible results? So I got myself 10 more Amano shrimps for a total of 14 in this tank. The math is not exact, but this is not an exact science here, and I want to see if these pesky algae will subside. I'm hoping they will, but we're gonna find out at the end of this experiment. I'm not a fan of substances and stuff. Yeah, I know I can use liquid carbo and things of the sorts, but I'd rather not because there are some bad things associated with these products. So let's get to work. I'm gonna acclimate the Amanos and we'll see how they do. Alright, so they've already started to work, but you know what, Mr. Shrimp, I need algae removed from the plants, not from the substrate. But you know what, you do your thing, you remove the algae from wherever you want. Alright, so it's been about 5 days and I would say things are looking amazing. I think there is quite a noticeable difference. Mind you, I was at that stage where this tank was kind of stabilizing and many of the algae issues were piping down, so I had a few staghorn algae which kind of started to die off on their own and the Amanos ate it. Maybe some filamentous algae of different kinds as well that were pretty easy for the Amanos to eat up. I'm at about 1 month mark with this tank. It is about time for the algae issues to start to pipe down. But definitely I do believe the Amanos made quite a difference in getting rid of those algae and not letting them just break down in the water and spoil the water parameters. I can see quite a difference on the piece of wood. Do you remember it did have a lot of green algae? Generally everywhere I do see quite an improvement. The only things that they did not eat, and I kind of don't expect them to, are some BBA or blackbeard algae on the Anubias pangolino. Yeah, I think what I need to do with those is just spot treat Sikkim XL or a product that has glutaraldehyde, which is not advertised as an algicide, but it is a very good algicide. I try to stay away from those type of substances as much as possible and create a natural balance. But just to give the edge to that plant, what I think I will do is take it out because it's an Anubias. I don't think it rooted just yet, so I'll take it out, bathe it in glutaraldehyde solution, kill off the BBA, and when it's softened up, the Amanos theoretically should eat it. And in this way, I can give an edge to the actual plant to start growing more vigorously. There is no way to remove the old growth because it's pretty much the entire plant, but the new growth I'm hoping will not have algae. So there are very few things that eat BBA. There are some fish, the Siamese algae eaters, that could potentially eat the BBA. The problem is they grow large, so I need to get them small, and when they grow I need to give them away. I don't like doing that. When I get my fish, I kind of want to get them forever. Sometimes it doesn't work out, yes, and I'm forced to donate some, but as much as possible, if I'm aware that I need to donate, I usually don't buy fish. So I'd rather do that for the BBA. Other than that, I don't see much issue left. I think they did a great job on filamentous algae, the green algae. They still have some stuff to do. They're not out of food, obviously. I made sure when I fed the fish not to have a lot of food just falling on the ground because I don't actually have much ground eaters. I'm thinking of adding maybe 2 coolie loaches or something like that because I do have an issue there. Other than the cherry shrimp, there's nobody there to eat the food. Maybe the rams, but the rams, they're busy with something else. Actually, they're kind of pinching on the algae as well, but they're not really good bottom cleaners, you know? And if nobody gets that food, it's the Amanos who will, and they would much rather eat fish food than algae. So I'm trying as best as possible not to have excess food anywhere and just let the Amano feed on the algae. When the algae are completely done, I will make sure to add some wafers or some food for them. I'm not gonna let them starve, but for now, they need to eat that algae, and I think they did quite a great job. Alrighty, so with that said, that concludes my little experiment. I think they absolutely do help. Will they create a miracle? Probably not. There are some algae which they will not eat, and obviously you will go through a peak of algae, most probably at the beginning after the first month or in the first month. But then, as it dies down, the Amano definitely help. Keep in mind, Amano shrimps grow big. I had some that reached like 7 centimeters long or 8. They were huge. So if you see an enormous shrimp all of a sudden in your tank, yeah, don't worry. They do tend to get very, very big if they have food. But, you know, other than that, they're really pretty. And even though I heard some people saying they attack some red plants, particularly Alternanthera, I personally never had it happen. Maybe when they run out of food, they attack some plants. They could do that. I heard many aquarists say they can. So make sure you always have algae or you feed them, because they might attack the plants. As I was saying, I never had it happen, and I didn't even particularly go out of my way to feed them. But hey, time is not lost. One day I might wake up with an empty Alternanthera. I don't know, hopefully not. But yeah, that's about it on the Amanos. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you all next time. Bye!